Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Daddio. I hope I'm pronouncing the title right. I would say Daddio, probably Daddio, having in mind what the film is about. But yeah, so this is the new Dakota Johnson starring and produced film. So this is made by her production company, and I didn't really know much about it going into it. To be honest, anything that stars Dakota Johnson, I'm probably gonna watch because I just think she's a good actress, even though a lot of people disagree with that. So I just went into it expecting something like I knew this was a drama, so I was expecting something that would be mostly like vibes, something like After Sun, something that doesn't have a lot of plot. And yeah, let's find out if the film was what I was expecting. As I said, I didn't really know much about the film, but I knew that this was about a taxi ride. It's basically that. It's basically about a woman that gets into a taxi and strikes up conversation with the driver, and that's basically it. Also, this is a really minimal cast. There's only 2 actors here, so one of them is Dakota Johnson and the other one is Sean Penn. And yeah, let's get to my thoughts now. As I said, I was expecting a movie that is slow paced. It's about the characters and the environment, and it's not really a journey film. It's more like a character study, and that's exactly what this film is about. This is exactly the type of film that Dakota Johnson likes to produce. I would say, like, the other film that she produced that I've watched is Shasha Real Smooth, which I also like reviewed, so I'll leave my review up here. And they're not necessarily, they don't have the same vibe, but they are both films about like characters, and it's a character study. There's not like end goal. It's about the characters. It's mainly about them and their interactions, even though Cha-Cha Real Smooth is a lot more dynamic, has a lot more things happening. I would say Daddio is more like, as I said, After Sun and The Lost Daughter. They have like the same vibe, and yeah, The Lost Daughter also stars Dakota Johnson. And I feel like this is the type of film that not only she likes to produce, but she also likes to star in. It relies solely on the characters and the script, and I think the script here is so good because this is mainly just about those 2 characters. It relies a lot on the dialogue, also the acting, because there's a lot of like expressions that you have to read on, mainly on Dakota Johnson's character. Like, you have to read her face, and she has to portray what the character is thinking, and it's really subtle, but you can, like, you understand. There's a slight mystery there. Obviously, when you get into a cab or into like an Uber or something like that, you don't share all your things with the driver like at all, or not right away. So this conversation is really interesting. It starts with like small talk and then gets deeper and deeper, and I just loved like their interaction. The movie is basically just that, and I was totally on board with it. Obviously, the movie also looks good, has a nice score, and I also like the pacing. Maybe it will be like a bit slow for most people, and I don't usually like slow burns, but I wouldn't say this is a slow burn. It's like a slow film because not a lot is happening. The whole film takes place inside the cab, inside the taxi, and they had to stretch out the drive, obviously, but I don't know if it's accurate, but they do some things along the way, like along the drive, to make it last longer. But yeah, all of it takes place inside the cab. But it's really interesting. I was really interested in both their lives and what they had to say. And both characters are really interesting. And yeah, I liked it. I think it's a really good film. But I know it's not for everyone. It's a simple story. Not a lot is happening. It relies solely on their dynamic and what they have to say, on the dialogue and the script. But I think the script is so good and they deliver the dialogue and everything so well. So if you like real and slow and just movies that are about characters and their struggles, yeah, it's just a deep dive into these characters and I enjoyed it. And so I guess post that, let's get to my scores. So overall, I'm gonna give the film a 3.5 out of 5. I know I've been giving 3.5s a lot, and I almost gave it only a 3, but I just had a good time. Like, it's not one of those that are fun and like you have a good time, but I was invested. I wanted to know and I was intrigued. It's a captivating movie, and that's all because of the actors and the script. I can't praise it enough. I think they are just so good, both actors and the script, and I think it's totally worth a watch. But yeah, keep in mind, there's not like a starting point. Like, there's not, the focus isn't accomplishing something. You just have to enjoy the ride, literally. Cinematography, I think I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 as well. It's a nicely shot film, and having in mind that everything takes place inside the taxi, they are able to make it like dynamic, and even though it's a slow film, it never feels boring, so I like that. And originality, I think I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I want to say it's a super original film, but I haven't seen something like this. Maybe you would say like Drive is slightly similar because of it taking place inside a car. There's another film that I haven't seen, but I know like the premise is similar. It's one starring Tom Hardy. I think it's called Lock. I don't know, I'll leave the poster here. I also think that film takes place inside a car, but I don't think it's one. I think both those films are more action-based, and this is it's just a simple conversation between two characters. Not so simple, like there's a bit of conflict, but it's just about their conversation, and that was so interesting. Not necessarily super original, but original enough. And yeah, these are my thoughts on Daddio. Not a film for everyone, but I would recommend to check it out. Not necessarily one that needs a theater experience. You could totally watch it at home, but because it is a bit slow, maybe going to the cinema is the best option, so you are like totally focused on the film and you don't have any distractions. At least that's how I experienced it, but it's not one that you would benefit a lot like visually from watching it like in a big screen. I always like to watch films on the big screen, but if you can't make it, just watch it at home. I think it's an interesting ride, pun intended. And yeah, if you've watched it, let me know in the comments what you thought. If you are planning on watching it, also let me know and like update me after you watch it. I'm really curious to see what people think of this one. It's an interesting like premise, and tell me if you are a fan of Dakota Johnson and which one is your favorite film of her. I could totally do like a top from her movies because I've seen a lot of them, and I think she's a great actress. People just don't give her enough credit, and they just don't give her a chance. But if you are a fan of hers like I am, let me know which one is your favorite movie. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video.